let's see what we got. Gonna go on here, see if we're good to go. Okay. All right. Let's see. It's like the easiest position for me to see this if I need to. Boo. How far I am. Okay. All right. So welcome to the show. Draft recap. We just had our draft, I believe, about 2 weeks ago, and it was a obviously year two for the dynasty league, and a lot of people kept their teams. So teams are basically already set. We had 16 teams last year. Two of them didn't make it this year, so we got the draft from those two teams that were eliminated or deleted. And for the draft, how do I view that right now? The draft we were. Let's see. I think we're gonna make this a little bit bigger because I need to. Let's do view all round. So some teams drafted about 5, 6 rounds. Some were drafting more than that. Um, we have 25 total spots. All these keepers that you see right here were personally put by me, and it took a lot of time. And I got it done. It was not fun, but I got it over with. And as we looking around, we see a lot of moves made. There were some good players from the teams that got deleted, and I think that's what made everyone more interested in this draft. I feel like next year, if we keep 14 teams, we aren't gonna have um, as good of a draft for next year. I mean, unless there's like a good player from overseas coming in, and like maybe the draft class. But other than that, we're gonna probably keep the same teams for the most part. Um, so let's get started. Los Polos Hermanos. How I'm gonna do this is how I did it last year. I had a pitching grade, I have a batting grade. If you have a farm system, I grade you on your farm system. I think everyone has a farm system, so um, those are your NA players. So everyone should be getting a grade for that. And then your average, I will not be calculating that. I'll try my best. This is because there's three of them now. It's kind of hard to calculate it. But so since the first team, or for the first pick, was Los Hermanos. All right. So the recent owner, or the owner before, Brad, he had this team. He just did not want to do the baseball league again. Still don't know the main reason why he stopped. Um, he stopped doing fantasy baseball. Um, but that's okay. We have a replacement with. I still don't know this dude's name, but he was one of the ones that I found on Reddit, and he's been in many leagues. He's in many leagues, and I gave him a pretty good team. Um, he had the first pick, and he took Tariq Skubal. Looking at this team, there's some really good pitchers. I mean, Sandy Alcantara coming back from Tommy John. Um, he looks good in spring training. Um, there's some question marks on how. I mean, he apparently doesn't have an innings limit, so he's good to go. Full blast. Dylan Cease, Ronel Blanco had a pretty good year last year. He came out of nowhere. Gavin Williams had a shaky year. He didn't really play that much. Um, he had some potential to do something. There were signs of life from 2023, but 2024 didn't really come up with it. Missed a lot of games. Never really just got in it. Nathan Eovaldi had a good year a couple years ago, and he had a decent year. I think he was hurt for some of the year too, but all in all, he's still a really good pitcher. I think this rotation or your pitching is excellent. I think now that you got a Cy Young Award winner, you could have another one with, or you technically have two because of Sandy Alcantara, and then Dylan Cease can do just as like he can win a Cy Young as well. He had a really good year, bounce back year. He could definitely do it again, even have a better year. I think your pitching is really, really, really good. Um, I mean, there's not many problems that you have there, and you got your little farm system. I'm not really familiar with these guys. They're from Atlanta, and they always develop really good arms, so maybe they'll be used. Alan Rodon, I think I've heard about him. Jason Terry, I mean, this guy's... I think it's clear that Sahir Hope, Sebastian Wilcock, Jesus Made, Roman Anthony are like the ones that carry your farm system. I don't even know why you picked up Alex Verdugo. That was just a weird pickup. David Fry, he had a good year last year. I don't know. I guess he had torn UCL tear. It seems like he'll be out for a little while, so there's no telling when he'll come back. The offense was good. I think last year, when Brad left in the middle of the season, the reason why this team was at the bottom was because it was just inactive, and that's why you got the first pick. There are some really good players on here, like Dylan Cruz can have a really good year. Now he's back in full go, and he has a full season to perform. I mean, he's a really good player. We saw that in college. He cruised through the minor leagues, and then when he got called up, he didn't do too well, but I feel like it's just because when you start in the major leagues, you don't perform right away. Obviously, Corey Seager, if he could stay healthy, he can have a really, really good season. He had a really good season in the World Series year. I mean, he kind of repeated it a little bit. He fell off a little bit, regressed, and then, who knows what could happen this year. I feel like it's like it just depends on his health. Josh Hung missed most of the season last year, unfortunately, and, he's still young. He's pretty young. I believe he's like, 20, so 27. I mean, that's starting to get to where it determines if you're going to be really good for a long time or not. If he doesn't perform this year, it could be a problem. Obviously, have one of the best catchers in the league. I believe he fell off a little bit, but he's still, for catching wise, still really, really good. Michael Toglia, I was thinking of keeping him. I probably should have kept him over Stan and Bowden Francis, but, oh well. I'll live without him. Other than that, Evan Carter's a question mark. Brendan Doyle's pretty good. Who knows if he can repeat it, but other than that, Spencer Torkelson's just had the worst year I've ever seen. I don't believe he'll do that good, but, the Tigers got a lot of players that can play over him, and it just depends on the playing time for him. I think all in all, you didn't really draft too much on the hitting side. You picked up Torkelson. I think you got Toglia, maybe Carlos Santana. Yeah, Carlos Santana, that's right. It's Tyler Sotoso. He's a young guy. He could hit. There's a good chance that he can do something this year. Michael Conforto, he's on the Dodgers now, so there's a chance that he could freaking have an all-star season with how that team develops players who struggle. I think for now, the main thing that I'm grading is how your team is right now. And I think you're hitting. could use a little work just because of how inconsistent it is. Um, so I think batting would be. I'd probably put a C plus, just because there's a lot of hit or misses. Pitching, I think, is really, really good. I don't think it's the top, but it's really good enough to where you'd at least get a B. So I think a B minus, or in the B's is what I meant. A B minus would be a good grade for it. Farm system, you really just have like two players that are like really good. Other than that, I don't really see much going on with this team or with that farm system. So I think it's at the bottom. I would probably put a C on it. And I have no idea what the average would be for B minus, C plus. I mean, probably a C plus ish. Yeah, C plus. Probably be the closest average that you got for you. Yeah. I don't believe I think pitching would be your strong suit. It depends on the health of some of these players. A lot of these guys are injury prone. So who knows how much of your offense you'll have for the season, but I do believe that you'll finish maybe in the 10th slot. I probably could put that in. It's like what place you'll finish. I do think you'll finish like 10th, maybe. So that's just what I'm estimating. All right, so pick 2 was Noah's team. Let's do that. Acuna Hurtadas. Noah didn't draft. He auto-drafted. I don't know what he was doing. He hasn't really been active lately. I mean, if you message him, he'll respond. He's made some pickups. He just has a really, really good offense. I think his offense is probably one of the best just because he has Bobby Witt Jr., Ronald Acuna. When he comes back healthy, who knows how good he'll be, but it's still Ronald Acuna, Junior Caminero, Tristan Casas, Nolan Jones. If he could somehow improve a little bit, he's still a really good player. Obviously, Jordan was the guy he went with first. And then you got Cedric Mullins, Zach Jaloff, Reese Hoskins. That's a really good offense. I think this offense can go a long way. It just depends on the health. I guess Bobby Witt Jr. went down with an injury recently, and they don't know what has forearm contusion. So it doesn't seem like he'll. It doesn't seem like it was too bad. So it looks like he'll be back for opening day. Obviously his farm system's pretty good in my opinion. He's got Cade Horton, who's a really good pitching prospect. Ricky Tiedemann, he's been a good pitching prospect for like the last 3 years. Hasn't really done much. Dalton Rushing's I think one of the Dodgers' top prospects. Ethan Salas is like one of the top catching prospects. Jameer Johnson is really good. Don't know when he'll play. So his farm system's a lot better. His pitching staff, I believe, could use a lot of he needs some help. It's very aged, it's concerning. Seth Lugo, I don't know how he had such a good season last year or last 2 seasons. I mean, he's hanging on by a thread, honestly, and he's just been really good. I don't know if this year will be the year that it'll stop happening, but we'll see. No, Jack, I'm doing it by pick order. Carlos Rodon, I think now that he has a beard, there's a chance that he could have a really good season. 3.96 ERA. I think he can get to 3.5s. Since Garrett Cole is down, the Yankees need him now more than ever, and this is what they wanted out of Carlos Rodon, is to be that guy. I mean, obviously they signed Max Fried, but there's a chance. That Max Fried could outperform Carlos Rodon. It just depends on how they perform. I think it's really important that the money that they pay, they need to perform, and Carlos Rodon has shown that he could do that, and he had a really good bounce back season last year. I really think that he could even have a better season. I mean, it's just an insane ERA to have, getting paid 27 million a year, then finally a bounce back. Um, it was good to see him bounce back. I mean, he could still do a little bit better, but that's what we'll see this year. Overall, I think his pitching staff, regardless, is not the best. It's definitely worse than Los Polos de Hermanos. So I'd probably put a C on the pitching staff just because of how old they are. Los Polos Hermanos. My bad. So a C on that. Batting grade, just because these guys are just really young, really good. I would say it's like a A minus. Farm system's solid. I think it's definitely good. I'd probably put that as a B plus. I don't know what the average would be. I think Noah, just for how inactive he is sometimes, I think it'll hurt his ranking, and I don't think he'll finish top five just because of his offense is really stacked. His pitching might hurt him a lot. Just depends on how good the guys are gonna perform. But if Acuna comes back, performs, Caminera is what they say he is, Casas comes back and good, Nolan Jones bounces back, he could have a really good offense, but then again, it's the pitching. I think he'd probably finish 7th. I think 7's a good position for him. I don't see him doing too much in the playoffs, but I mean, if he made trades, he can definitely improve. I mean, this pitching staff is just a lot of red flags, so it just depends. All right, the third pick was must-see TV. So Kyron went with Jackson Merrill for his first pick. That is obviously, I think it's a very solid pick. I think it's either that or Jackson Chourio, and I think Jackson Merrill's a good pick. But, Jackson Chourio is a little younger. They could have the same type of season, but I don't know. It depends. I know that he traded for Lourdes Gurriel. Got Ryan Jeffers. Okay. He traded Garrett Cole and Isaac Paredes for Freddie Peralta and Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan's a good hit. He's been a good hitter. I mean, it's just known that he'd be a good hitter. I think it just helped both sides. Unfortunately, Garrett Cole went down. Freddie Peralta he was supposed to be the ace for the team last year. He didn't really perform the way he was supposed to. He struggled in a lot of times, and it was just a really big problem. There's a chance he could still bounce back, but who knows? He had a big walking problem. He would give up home runs, just give up a lot of hits, and that's why his whip is so high. I think his pitching staff is definitely not the best. I think Kyron's team is probably one of the ones at the bottom. I don't see him doing much. I mean, Gunner's really good, obviously. Jackson Merrill's good. Freddie Freeman's still good. I just don't think. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, but that's like it. I mean, Xavier Edwards, I don't know too much about him. I think that he was a rookie last year. He's technically a rookie last year. I mean, he's apparently a good hitter, but I mean, he could still use some help. His farm system's not too bad. I think there's better ones out there. So I'll probably put like a C just for how average it is. His batting grade, I mean, there's some really good spots there. I think his batting is definitely better than his pitching. His pitching has a lot of inconsistencies. Brian Wu, I mean, who knows if he'll have a bounce back season? He's a good pitcher. Freddie Peralta, who knows with him? And then these guys on the bench, you just don't know. Smith Shawver didn't really have a good year, in my opinion. Well, he didn't actually play. I thought he played more. Am I tripping? I guess it was, yeah, 2023. I'm thinking of 2023 maybe. But Ben Brown had some good signs. I don't think he's a starter though, so they are pitching him as a starter. Um, Dustin May could have a good bounce back season. I was looking at him, but unfortunately my team is full of DTDs, and Yahoo has not put them on the IR yet, so I can't make any moves. I'm waiting for that to happen because there's plenty of moves I could still make. That can't happen yet. Pitching grade I think is definitely weaker. It's probably I would say it's a little bit better than Noah's, but I think they're on the same length. Batting grade's probably worse. I'd say it's probably it's not worse. It's better. Wait, C plus. I'm gonna put C. C. Wait, yeah, C, right? Yeah, I'll put C on that. Batting, I'd probably put. I'd probably put C plus for that too. I just don't know with this team. He's got some good hitters, but I think Gunnar has like an injury that's like what is intercostal? What is that? Like, how do you even get that? That sounds like a problem that will happen throughout the season. So who knows? C plus. Okay, so there's two C's. I'd probably just give him a C on average. I think he'll probably. Oh, that's what it did. Okay. Finish. I probably think he'll probably be a bottom team. I don't think he'd be the worst team, but man, I don't know. I think. Let me remember who else is on this in this league. Yeah, I don't think he'll be the worst team. I think he'll be down there, but he won't be the worst team. So I think he'll finish 13th in the league. All right. Now let's go to Angels in the outfield. Jacob went with Jackson Churio. He didn't keep a lot of his guys. Remember that. Okay. Parker Meadows was kept by Kyron, then he dropped him. Then I guess he picked him up. His farm system's decent. Pitching staff can use some work. Yuri Perez might come back this year. Don't think he'll be effective, though, because the Marlins are very strict and like to manipulate service time. His hitting's decent. Not the best, in my opinion. Mike Trout never stays healthy. Bryce Harper is definitely the spokesperson on this team. Then Jackson Churio. Everyone else is, who knows. Josh Lowe had a really disappointing season last year after having a really good season. Michael Bush could have the potential to be really, really good this year. Hit a kind of like a breakout season last year. He just needs to improve. I think he's still pretty young, right? I can't remember. Well, I wish they showed the ages on here. 26. Yeah, he's still decently young, so I believe that he can have a good season. Seiya Suzuki is always just hitting above 800 OPS. So he's always been a solid hitter. A lot of young guys, so it just depends on how these guys perform. I think his farm system, though, all in all, he's got Bobby Miller, man. That's terrible. Farm system, I have to give him like a C plus, just because there's some guys that have been in the majors before and haven't really performed that much, and then there's just guys that I have no idea or just probably aren't going to be effective when they come in. So I'll probably give him a C in the farm system. Batting grade, I'd probably give maybe a C plus. Pitching grade, I'd probably have to do like a like a D plus, just because he won't have Luis Hill. Jose Soriano's not good. Jared Jones, Luis Castillo, Kodai Singe is probably the best you got. Everyone else is just a mess. So that'd probably give you a C minus average, I believe. I think you're gonna be struggling a lot. Don't know if you'll be 12th place. I might have to fiddle it with it a little bit. I think for now you'll be 11th in the league. Seems like a lot of these teams that are at the bottom are probably going to stay at the bottom, just because they have a lot of work that they need to do, and well, that's what happens. All right, who had the next pick? It was Canadian Killers. Okay. So this team was recently owned by Daniel. He did not want to continue on with this league. He was just too busy. He's got a busy life, and I didn't really want him in the league anymore anyways, just because he was inactive. As you could tell, this team's really good. The reason why they were at the bottom is because he was inactive, so that's why this team had a high draft pick. I think this is probably one of the best teams in the league. It just depends. I mean, there was a lot of guys who had down seasons, and that's why they also didn't do so well. I mean, I look and I see Vinny Pasquantino, Jordan Westbrook had a good year. Heston Kjerstad is just, he hasn't gone over the hump of performing, and there's always question marks with him. They don't know about his playing time. Anthony Volpe can never get above a 700 OPS. It's ridiculous. He can do it, just doesn't. Teoscar Hernandez, Cody Bellinger's good. Fernando Tatis Jr., Jake Berger. Tatis had, I think, a down year last year, right? Not 2023, but in my opinion, for how hyped he is, these are not good stats. So. And this dude wanted me to give Juan Soto for Fernando Tatis Jr. Those numbers are like nothing compared to what Soto's putting up. So I would never do that deal. His pitching staff is pretty good. I mean, Zach Wheeler, Corbin Burns, Blake Snell, Aaron Nola, Walker Buehler can have a really good bounce back year. Drew Rasmussen, recovering back from, I think, not Tommy John. I think he had elbow surgery. Or was it Tommy John? I don't know, but he had a really good year. He pitched really well last year. He pitched good the year before. Didn't do too much, but he's always been a good pitcher. I think this is definitely a plus pitching staff, in my opinion, just because of how many aces he's got. And it's insane, bro. Hitting staff, I think I thought it was a little bit better. I mean, Shailene Lears is a good hitting catcher. Vinny's good. George Springer had a down year last year. I think his hitting staff is a little shaky. Farm system, let's see, Kevin McGonaghy, Brock Wilkin. I don't know who these freaking people are. Jackson Ferris, George Klassen, Thomas White, Tink Hens is probably his best prospect. Farm system is probably a D, just because these guys aren't big names. Batting grade, I'd probably give. Damn, these teams are like. I thought he had the best team. I guess his hitting is like. It's like I don't know. I think his hitting is a little bit better than everyone else's, but I wouldn't give it like the best grade. I think B- is an honest grade for him. A+, B-, D. What does that even average out to? I do believe that he'll have a good season, though. I think with an active owner, this team can be in the playoffs. I don't think it be finishing too strong. I think 6 is a good ranking for him. Abe, I think you got a lot of moves that you should make. You need to trade one of these pitchers for a better hitter, or you just got to hope that these guys bounce back or perform the way they were hyped up to be. So, all in all, it's a good team. This is a team that you came up to. I do believe that you should stick with this league, stay active, and I think this team can go a long way. So we'll see. All right, sixth pick, I believe, was Kawabonga, right? Let me check. Can't remember the draft. View all. Yeah, it was Kawabonga. Okay. Kawabonga, blah, blah, blah. Kawabonga. Okay, so this team had multiple owners last year, and then now we have a new guy that I met on Reddit. Abe was also found on Reddit. This team has a lot of challenges to go through. I think it's a team that has a very good farm system, not a good pitching staff. This might be one of the worst pitching staffs I've seen. He has a lot, but he's got Caden Dana, Chase Dollander, who's really, really good. Harrison Wardrop, who's got some potential, just hasn't performed. That's the guy I'm thinking of that did not have a good season last year, was Harrison Wardrop. Chase Delauder's really good. Brady House is really good. Harry Ford's really good. Drew Gilbert's really good. J.J. Weatherholt's really good. Lazaro Montes is really good. De Los Santos is really good. Colson Montgomery's he's got a really good farm system. I think this farm system can go a long way. And then I think this is an excellent farm system. I'm going to give it an A+. Just for how perfected it is. Pitching grade, that's easily an F. I don't think it's going to do... It's just going to hurt you. Hitting-wise, obviously it's not your fault that this team isn't the best, but there are some really good spots. Jordan Lawler, I don't think he's going to play this year, right? I thought they weren't ever going to play him. So I think he's going to be in the minors too. Mark Vientos had a really good year. Jonathan India got traded, so maybe there's a good chance he can bounce back for a little bit more than that. Vlad Guerrero, he's Vlad Guerrero. Wilson Contreras, a top catcher. Nolan Arenado had not the best season, in my opinion. Last year, Jose Altuve, Kerry Carpenter's really good. Nathaniel Lowe, he's always been such a consistent hitter. I don't think he'll be too bad. His hitting staff, and then Jared Duran, that's who you drafted. That's right. He's gonna help your hitting team a whole lot. I think if you can win with offense, you'll be okay, but you're definitely not gonna win at pitching. I think batting wise, I think I would give this C+. It's above average, but it's not worth being good. There's a lot of work that you could do. I don't know what this average would be. I think you'd probably finish I think your pitching staff is going to hurt you a lot. And I think that's what's going to affect your ranking. So I think 12th is what you're going to be in this league. But like you said, you like the challenge. You want to go through with it. I think trading is in the near future. Sell your older guys for either young prospects, see if you can get some good arms. If you could balance it out, it would improve your ranking, but for now, it's just not good. Yeah, well, I'm saying you have a lot of moves that you need to make. All right. Oh, dang it, I don't remember who was next. Okay. CC Sexpathia. Okay. My boy Juan. Okay. Let's do CC Sexpathia. So Juan has a really good team. I think I don't remember what. I don't know if he made the playoffs or not. Hold on. I'm not 100% sure if he made the playoffs or not. I don't. If he finished ninth place, so he did not. Okay. I mean, I really like his offense. I think his offense is really good with Ellie De La Cruz, Rafael Devers, obviously top tier guys. Austin Riley, getting the acquisition of Austin Riley and Tyler O'Neill is really good. Your pitching staff was the question mark last year, and now I think it is still. This year, definitely not the best. I don't think I'd see too much improvement. I don't even think Kyle Harrison's going to be good this year. Yes, he may not make rotation. Might be in AAA. Hayden Birdsong, disappointing season last year. He's still in the mix because he's been doing good in spring. Drew Thorpe, I want to see him pitch, but it doesn't seem like he wants to pitch because of how injured he's been getting. Spencer Schwellenbach, man, such a good pickup. This is one of the guys that's worked out for the Braves. He might be really, really good. So you got lucky with that. George Kirby, I think he had a down year, right? A little bit, but he's still really good. And then Logan Webb, really, really good pitcher. Yesis Luzardo is finally on a team that wants to play. There's a good chance, even though he had a really bad year last year, I wouldn't take it too much into consideration. I think he could have a really good bounce back year. I don't know. Lit up for 6 runs. Dang, bro. Pitching staff, probably like a. I'd probably put a C+. It's probably one of the better ones I've seen. Batting grade, I think this is definitely A-, just because of how good they are. Farm system, let's see. Bryce Eldridge, Giants top prospects. Spencer Jones, Yankees one of the top prospects. George Lombard, one of the top prospects. Drew Jones, mid. Brandon Sprott, who the hell is that? Robbie Snelling, not good. Jarlin Susanna, no. Okay, so this is like a C- farm system. I don't know what that would be. Probably be like a B-, right? Am I right on that? Juan, I think you'll finish 8th. 8th this year. I think you'll make the playoffs. I think you'll lose first round, but you'll make the playoffs. So good on you for that. Your offense is really good, actually. I forget Kyle Tucker exists. He can have a really good season too. So maybe that might bump your grade up a little bit. I mean, I think you and Noah's offense is just like you have such insane talent, but like your pitching staff's obviously a little bit better than his, and that's why you'll definitely finish above him. 8th. Tata's 7th. Oh. Well, it's because I'd probably switch that real quick. 7th. We'll do 8th on this. Then you'll be neck and neck with each other. Okay. Holy smokes. Who was the next pick? Vladdy's Bombers, my boy Jonathan. Alright, this guy was another Reddit guy. I think this was one of the complete built teams. He has a really good offense. There's a lot of young players. It seems like you fiddle with it already, trading Vladdy for Julio. Julio has not been that great. Kind of questioned your trading skills there, but you did get Max Clark. Your pitching staff is probably the most complete pitching staff that I've seen. I think you have I think you have the top pitching staff, honestly. You got Roki Sasaki. Sugano, I mean, he's like, what, 37, 36? He's old as hell. Age of 30. Wait, what the heck? I saw highlights of him when he played against Adam Jones. How is he 31? That's weird. I think he might have a really good season. Garrett Crochet, I mean, come on. This is probably one of the best pitching staffs I've ever seen, along with Canadian Killers. So your pitching is good to go for the season. Batting wise, let's see. Jackson Holiday. O'Neal Cruz needs to have a breakout. I mean, he's been good, just it's been signs of struggle. Adolis Garcia had a huge cliff jump. Still 25 homers though, but OPS, yikes. Julio Rodriguez, what did he end the season on? Down year. Nico Horner's always been good. Matt Chapman had a really good season last year. Sal Frelick, I think it's his time to break out. Drake Cronenworth, please. Who the hell? I guess you drafted catcher last. Hitting wise, I think it's not bad. It's not the best, obviously. I'd probably give it B minus, maybe C plus. I don't think it's better than Los Polos Hermanos. I think it's a little bit better than Angels in the outfield. Cowabunga is I think it's definitely better than Cowabunga. Must See TV is definitely better than Must See TV. Yeah, I'll do B minus. Farm system, you just went with all the guys that got drafted last year. Jack Caglione, Travis Bazana, Charlie Condon. I think Braden Taylor got drafted last year. Roki Sasaki. This is, I guess, I gotta give this an A plus, right? Just for how good it is. You have like the top 30 prospects. Average A plus. It's like an A minus, right? Or an A. A average. This team finished 8th place last year just because he was kind of inactive last year. He was a really good manager. He was from like Australia, I believe. I think he just had family issues, or family reasons, so he just didn't want to be in the league this year. But I think this team's really good. I think you got lucky that I gave you this team. I think it's definitely. I don't know if it'd be I mean, I think it's really good just because of how good the pitching staff is, but the hitting, there's some question marks, but I think it's really good. I think 3rd is what you'll finish. I think it's definitely a top 3 team, even if the pitching staff isn't the best, but it's like good. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to see how your team unfolds. You just gotta be active. And then Shane Bieber is coming back. I don't think he's pitching like right away. Shane McClanahan's coming back. He's really good. I still want him. If you want to trade him to me, yeah, go ahead, give him to me. Garrett Crochet, you're never gonna give him to me, but I want him. Max Fried, I'll take him too. I want him as well. Yeah, good pitching stuff all in all. Alrighty, who is next? Corbin's Gold. My boy Dylan. Dylan originally, let's see. He went with, what was his first pick? Okay, just look at the draft. Let me figure out what his first pick was. Dylan's first pick was Brent Rooker. Was it actually? Okay, well, Dylan's first pick was Brent Rooker. He had a really good season last year. I think he could be a really good hitter. Don't know if he'll get traded. I think he got extended. Oh, no, that was Lawrence Butler. No, he got inked too. Okay. Yeah, I think, this team finished the way they did last year just because of how Corbin Carroll was. He had a big down year compared to his rookie year. Josh Naylor got traded to Arizona as well. Matt McClain was out for the season. Didn't do anything for you. Alex Bregman's on a new team. I think he'll perform. Logan O'Hoppe. I think your offense is really good. Bo Bichette was the main reason, too. That's right. I forgot. So, your pitching staff is literally just Paul Skeens, Logan Gilbert, maybe Zach Gallen. Just depends. He's getting up there in age. He's like what, 28? Something like that. Maybe he had a. He didn't. I would say he didn't have as good of a year as he did the year prior. Paul Skeens is like the best pitcher. I think him on your pitching staff itself is going to give you a good grade. Joe Ryan's pretty good. Um, Brandon Pfaadt is pretty good. Ryan Pepio is pretty good. I think your pitching staff's like really good. So I'm gonna give it. I don't think it's the best though, even if you have Paul Skeens. I'm not. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a B plus. B plus. I think it's good. Not terrible. Not the best. Hitting. I think you have a lot of holes. No, you don't. Dang. You know what? I might hit you up for Ohape or Wells. Honestly, I need a catcher, so I might hit you up on that. Corbin's World, I believe, would get a B minus. There's a lot of talent on here. I think they could perform, but we'll see. All right, farm system: Brady Montgomery, Kyle Teal, Nick Kurtz, Christian Moore, Connor Griffin, Bryce Rainier, Caminiti, Hagen Smith, Chase Hampton, Andrew Painter, Chase Burns. Yeah, this is a really good pitching farm system. A minus average. What is it? A minus plus. Take this B plus average. Dylan, I think you'll finish. I think you'll improve this year. I think. What's open? What have I not given out yet? So first, second, fourth, fifth. Do I think he'll finish fifth? I think you could. I think you could definitely finish fifth. Then there's ninth, and then last place. I think Dylan. I think you'll finish. I think you'll finish top 5. Honestly, I think fifth's right in your wheelhouse right there. So I think it'll be pretty good on that. If you want to trade me Paul Skeens, I'll take it. Whitewashed Steven, the guy who will never ever check his team, but somehow will end up in the playoffs. Just how good he is. So we'll see. Okay, so his pitching staff's like decent. I think they'll fall off even more than what they've already done. I'm not gonna go into too much detail just because he doesn't care about fantasy baseball. So I'm kind of gonna like skim through this. He doesn't change his lineup, so it doesn't matter what I say. But I do think he has a really good pitching staff. So I'd probably give it a C plus. Batting grade, he will not. I guarantee you, if I don't do anything about his team, Mookie Betts will stay on the bench. I mean, all of his good hitters are on the bench. He's got Wilmer Flores. I mean, like, but he did get Mason Wynn and Matt Olson. So his batting grade's not terrible. Like it's literally B worthy. Like I give it a B, and then I don't think he has a farm system. So that's an A. So it's like what, a B minus? Yeah, B minus average. Considering that he probably won't fix his team at all, and his pitching will somehow do amazing, I think he'll finish. What is left? 4th? No. I think he'll finish 9th. I don't think he'll finish last. He won't be 1 or 2. Let's see. 4th? No. There's better out there. Right? There's better teams. Warner Twins. Is there better teams? I don't know. 9th. We'll give him 9th for now. Alright, next pick was Lewis and Turner. Alright, So Jack went with Adley Rutschman, first pick, and then he like basically drafted his whole team. Um, Obviously, his pitching staff is non-existent, so that would be a F. Um, I made sure to make sure that the pitching staff would be just as important as the hitting staff. So, if you don't have pitching, you're not going to succeed. Your strat, you may think the strat's going to work, that what you're doing, but it won't. I promise you that. It will not work out. You know, because if one person gives up a run, it automatically goes to like way over than what a starter would get throughout the 5 innings. Whip, I mean, yeah, that's one thing you can win, but that's just one category. And walks. That's 2 categories out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, unless you're hitting amazing, this would work, but I don't believe you have the offense for that to work. I mean, Adley Rutschman had a really bad year last year. Don't know if he'll bounce back. I mean, he could. He's still young. He's like, what, 27? But they're definitely going to take it easy on him this year just because of how much he'll play, how much he played these last few years. So maybe it's like he's at that point to where fatigue is getting to him. Royce Lewis is good. Ozzie Albies had a down year. Lewis looks like he had for ERA, I think it'll be hit or miss for you, just because if these guys give up runs and they don't pitch again, you'll lose it. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like they're not guaranteed to pitch every week. I'm sure they'll pitch one game, but you've already lost probably outs, Ks, possibly whip, and then quality starts. So that's the thing with your strat is you're getting pitchers that probably won't pitch every day, possibly even every week. So, and all these guys they're just a bunch of like I'm not really concerned about the team right now. Trey Turner's obviously good. I think he'll be good. Tyler Fitzgerald's he had a really good year last year. I think he'll repeat it. Matt Wallner, I think he's the guy for the Twins. I think they're going to give him more of a chance than what this was. Just because you have so many guys on your team for hitting doesn't mean you're going to win it. Just because if any of these guys do better than the guys you're playing, you lose stats, and that's why it's not the best idea to go all out on hitting. I think hitting-wise, I don't see it too much being good. I think C+ is a good average for you on that. Let's look at your farm system. Marcelo Meyer, Blake Mitchell, Jet Williams, Justin Crawford, Christian Campbell, Jose De Paula, Felman Celestin, Moises Ballesteros, Angel Gennaro, Brendan Rodgers. Why would you get him? And no pitching. I think it's like I think you have some really good prospects. Christian Campbell's really good. Marcelo Meyer, obviously, really good. Moises, I think he's really good too. Chet Williams, good, but I can't remember what went on with him. He just couldn't hit in the majors, but he's kind of hitting in the minors. What did I give you? C+. Yeah, that's a fair grade. Average though. I don't know. I think average just gonna hurt you. C++ is like what? A D+? Or is it a C-? I'm gonna go C-. I do believe that if you don't fix the team the way you're supposed to, I think there's a chance you could finish last place. You're relying on guys who have already had really bad years, and there's a chance they could continue having bad years. There are some players that I see that could have breakout years. But then again, it just won't be enough for teams that have really good pitching and know what to do and pay attention whenever they play you, because your strat's very beatable. I don't know. People just have to be active. But I do believe this is a last place type team. So if you want to prove me wrong, prove me wrong. But right now I'm putting you at 14th. Okay. So next pick was me. I wanted to go with Adley Rutschman just because I needed a catcher really badly. But since he was taken, I went with Tanner Bybee. I already have like a really good pitching staff, even though now it's kind of deteriorated. But even without Spencer Strider for the first month, yes, you do, Jack. But I recommend you change your strat. Grayson Rodriguez probably for also the first month. Garrett Cole for the season. I still believe that I have a really strong pitching staff. I think Bowden Francis and Shane Baz are two question marks on my team. Everyone else, we already know how they could perform. Will Warren, I think, could have a really good year this year. I think it just depends on if they fixed his mechanics, because he was not good last year. I haven't heard much about these three guys. I think that if these guys are brought up, there's a chance that they can really perform. Bubba Chandler would be the guy next up, in my opinion. That's why he's 50% owned. One of the top prospects owned out of all the other guys. I think my pitching staff is up there, along with Vladdy's Bombers and Canadian Killers. But since I lost Garrett Cole, I'd have to put myself at the third best. But I do believe I have I wouldn't say it's A right now just because of my injuries, so I think I'd have an A. Pitching staff. Batting grade, I think, I guess, right now there's injuries problems with Zach Neto. I do believe he'll be back by like the beginning of April, so I wouldn't be missing him too much. Francisco Alvarez, I'll be missing for the beginning of the season. Trevor Story, I just have because I figured I need another shortstop just because I don't know on Zach Neto, but I'm hoping he'll have a bounce back year. He hit decent when he came back from his injury, but there's no shot that he'll stay healthy for the whole season, so who knows. Kobe Mayo, I think everyone overlooks him. I've been trying to shop him around to see for teams that would want a high potential guy who can hit the ball. Just right now he doesn't have the shot to play because the team is so compact with players who play over him right now. But I do believe Kobe Mayo is better than Jordan Westburg. I think he's better than Ryan Mountcastle, Ryan O'Hearn. He could play over Jackson Holiday, but they like him more, obviously. Luis Garcia is a very good sleeper guy. I think that this season that he had last year was like excellent. Like no one knows who this guy is, really, except for me. I traded for him last year. I remember that. This I think was just the beginning. I think he's like 24. He's just gonna keep improving. Like this is really good for a normal hitter, and it's just gonna get better. I believe he'll have a really good season this year. Jason Dominguez finally is getting the opportunity to play a full season. Obviously, he's playing left field. They don't know how he's going to do. He's still really, really young. I believe that he could have, when he first came up, this type of season, just with more games, more reps, he can have almost a 30 home run season with 20 stolen bases. Because he can run. Wyatt Langford, I believe he could be almost an MVP caliber player. He has the tools to be really, really good. He struggled a lot last year. He didn't really hit the ball the way that we that I was hoping for, and I think all the Ranger fans were hoping for. But I do believe that he's really, really good. He's killing it in spring training, but he did the same last year, so there's no telling if he'll do the same thing this year. Then again, it's like Lawrence Butler is really good. He had a breakout season. Willie Adamas, new team. I think he'll be really, really good this year. I think he'll get it over 800 OPS. I think Wyatt Langford would do the same. I think Dominguez will hit around 800. Jazz would probably hit 760 again. James Wood around 800, honestly. Juan Soto's Juan Soto. We already know how good this guy can be. There's a good chance that he could be top 5 in ranking. He was last year. Then again, though, it's like he was hitting in front of Judge, so that's why he had a really good season. But I still believe he could be really good, you know. Isaac Paredes. The reason why I wanted Isaac Paredes along with Garrett Cole is because he loves hitting in Houston. He has a lot of base hits there. And they're like extra base hits. So he hits the ball hard there. So I believe that he could have a 2023 type season in Houston just for how good he was, or how good he is when he plays in Houston. And since he's on Houston now, I believe that he will have a 2023 type season. All these guys, I mean, my pitching staff's good. I mean, they're still young. Michael King's good. Cole Reagans is good. Jack Flaherty had a really good bounce back season last year. He's still pitching really good this year. Tanner Bybee is, I think, a chance to be a really good sleeper pitcher. I'm hoping for a 2023 season, but there's no chance, or there's no guarantee. Obviously, no Garrett Cole is going to hurt my team. Spencer Strider, I'm hoping he comes back and pitches really well. I think he'll be on an innings limit just because they like to be strict with their guys, especially he didn't really have Tommy John, so that's why he is able to come back so fast. But there's a chance that he won't have as dominant a season that he did a couple years ago. Grayson Rodriguez is a good pitcher. I think he had some shaky starts. I don't know what type of season we'll have this year, but he's still young. He's like, 25, 24. So I'm not too worried about him. But I'm hoping when he comes back healthy and pitches really, really well. I think hitting wise, I think is really, really good. I think it's also another A. And my farm system is just perfect to the T. Leo Dallas de Vries, or whatever, how you say his name, just like international signing, I believe. He's like 17 years old. He's already ranked at like 15 in the top 100. Drake Baldwin, I think, is a decent like hitting catcher. Not too good, but I think there's a chance that he could be in the majors this year, so I picked him up for that. Luke Keishel is really good. Colby Thomas is good. Carson Williams, there's a good chance he could be in the major league roster. He's hitting really well in spring training, so is Samuel Basillo. Walker Jenkins won't be here this year, but he's really, really good. I think he's a top 3 prospect. Quinn Matthews is really good. Bubba Chandler and Noah Schultz. Top pitching prospects. A-plus farm system. So this is obviously a average. I do believe, I don't want to be too cocky, just because I know there's a lot of injuries, but second place is what this team could be. The things aren't final, like the final rankings aren't final. I'm just messing around to see, because it seems like I have first and fourth available. So we'll see. Next would be Isaac Stanley. I don't remember. I don't think he auto drafted. I think he was there. But the thing is his pitching is really, really bad. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of like good signs. I don't know how he made it with this pitching stuff. This is basically the same pitching stuff that he had last year. I don't know how he did so well with that. But with new stats, I think it'd be a problem for him. I believe that his pitching needs some work, and he needs to make some moves with that fast. I'm gonna give it a D plus in that. Batting's good. He got Alec Bohm, Bryce Terang from the draft. I think not the best. I mean, there's a lot of falling off. Paul Goldschmidt, I'm hoping for a bounce back season with him just because he's on the Yankees. Aaron Judge, obviously MVP. Jock Peterson has always been a good hitter, especially on the Rangers. I think he'll be. I don't think he'll be at 908, but he'll be around probably high 700s. He's gonna hit a full season. Isaiah, no, I'm not worried about him. William Contreras is really good. Randy Arozarena had a really bad season last year. He fell off. Don't know if he'll be around 2020, but there's a chance he could, maybe. Christian Yelich is really good. I like him. I want him so bad. I tried to trade for him, but he will not budge yet. But he needs the help. I'm willing to give him the help for pitching. Marcell Ozuna had a really good season last year. I'm surprised he had this really good of a season. Like, what the heck? I think hitting is still really good, so that's why I believe that he'll be a top 5 team. Farm system, non-existent. Average, B+, that would be like, what, a C? C+. I think it'll be 4th, though. So for right now, let's see what Dan's team looks like if I really want to determine him as the winner of the league. JT Realmuto, so you kept the same guys. You got Max Muncy, had a really good season last year for the time he played. Picked up Brandon Nimmo again. You got Shohei Ohtani, obviously MVP year. 54 home runs. I do believe he can repeat it. Giancarlo Stanton, who you picked up, don't believe he'll play as good this season. I think they're gonna do what they can to hold him off. Pitching staff, I don't see how this did so well last year. I mean, you did good with your pitching last year. There are different pitching stats, and I think the pitchers that you have are good for it. But there's some, I don't know, I'm not really seeing too much on it. I think I'd give your pitching staff a C+. I just don't believe. I mean, you lost Carlos Rodon. I don't believe that Lance McCullers will come back good. I think Alex Cobb's gonna fall off. Michael Walker might have a good year. Chris Sale, yeah, he had a Cy Young year last year. He could repeat it. Who knows? Shohei Ohtani's supposed to pitch this year, but it doesn't seem like he'll be good with it. Shota Imanaga had a really good season last year. I think he'll be the top star of your team. And then Jose Barrios. I think batting. Let's see, batting is just so mid. I don't know how you won the league last year. Like JT Realmuto, I mean, yeah, he's good. Pete Alonso's, he's good too. Max Muncy's good. Francisco Lindor had a really good season. I mean, I guess you really just won because of Shohei Ohtani would hit home runs, and it would just bump your total bases, and then you would just kill everyone with OPS and average, yeah. I mean, I guess your batting is good. I give it a B. Your farm system is just a bunch of guys who are unsigned free agents. Just give it like a D minus, which would give you like a freaking C average, and somehow you are first overall projected. So maybe let's fix that. Who has a chance? I mean, like, anyone could win this league, you know. Last year I gave Dan like possibly like last place projection, and I was wrong. I mean, I guess if I project someone last, they become the first place winner, so maybe Jack could somehow manage to win the whole league itself. But I don't know. I don't know if Dan would have the team to win it all this year. I think with even with the pieces that he got this year, I mean, it's good for him, but I don't know. I don't see it happening again. I really don't. But I do believe my team, I mean, the guys that I have, last year, a couple of them were rookies. They was like their for couple, yeah, two of them were like, no, four. All my guys are young, and they're just gonna get better, along with Juan Soto and then my pitching staff. Hopefully, I mean, I would say it got better, but there's injuries now, so. I mean, if my prospects come up, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a good chance I can win it. I mean, there's a good chance I would say like Jonathan can win it. I think out of left field, I mean, if I can do like a ranking right now, I think that'd be the best I could do. But if I were to choose a random sleeper team that could win it all, I'd probably choose Canadian Killers. I think Canadian Killers can win it all easily. I think Vladdy's Bombers can win it all too, and then I think there's a chance that my team can win it all, and maybe Juan's team, but he just needs to fix his pitching staff. So I think those four teams are going to be the ones that win it all. But for now, I'm going to go with Dan, just because he won it all last year, and I don't want to sleep on his team. Maybe I'll jinx him, so that'll do good. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. I don't know if I'll keep up too much on the videos again, just because I'm so busy now, so I don't know how much time I have available for y'all to post more videos, but thanks for watching. I'll send an announcement if you weren't able to watch the whole stream live, and yep, can't wait for the season to start and to beat all of y'all in fantasy baseball. So let's do this. Oh, and fantasy football, for the redraft league, I have no idea if I'm going to continue it or not. It depends what I'm doing, but that's just an announcement I'm not going to make right now, so we'll see. All right.